I'd like to talk to you a bit about En Primeur wine buying. This is buying Bordeaux wines, red Bordeaux wines, En Primeur, which means at the first time you can possibly buy it. This system of buying only happens in Bordeaux, and it's completely historical. It goes back 100 years. The Bordeaux merchants have always done that. They used to do it because the chateaus producing the wine needed the money by March or April after the vintage to get through the summer. So it was an en primeur sale to help the chateaus finance the rest of the year until the next vintage. Now the chateaus in Bordeaux are very rich, they don't need that, but the system has remained. And what it means is maybe 90% of the top Bordeaux wines, the top 200 or 300 Bordeaux wines, will be offered as a future purchase, because they're offered 10 to 15 months before they're put into bottle and then on the market. And the price will almost always, 99 times out of 100, be less when you buy it en primeur than when it comes on the market. The reason for buying en primeur is to get the first offer. And en primeur buyers, well, I'm a professional and I go down to Bordeaux every year, and I've been buying wine en primeur for 25 years now for my own cellar. But the professional en primeur buyers go down to Bordeaux, they taste the wine, and they make their allotted purchases. But for the private buyer, they rely on their wine merchants, and so they'll follow certain chateaus at certain times. And what I decided to do for the Wine Society of India, and we launched En Primeur last year with the 2009 vintage, is instead of offering the wines in single cases of 12, which I think would be far too much for the Indian market, I chose what I thought were the 12 best and best value wines of that vintage. So it's a mixed case, and it's an investment, but it's more an investment in pleasure than an investment in money, because I hope that the Wine Society of India members who've bought this mixed case of wine don't intend to sell it. They should drink it with their friends. And we did the same thing again with 2010. 2009 was a spectacular vintage, probably the best vintage in the last 20 years. 2005 was very good too. And then 2010 comes along, and my quote for it in Decanter magazine was an embarrassingly good vintage. It was as good as, and in some cases better than 2009. So I made a slightly different selection in 2010, but the same principle, 12 wines, all the communes in Bordeaux, and there again it's an investment in pleasure. I do advise you, this is a bit of a sales pitch, I do advise you to buy the case, because you simply can't go wrong. There are 12 very individual, very good wines, each of the chateaus with a history, each of the chateaus with its own personality, and guaranteed to make you not regret your purchase.